Hi, my name is Kjersti Jakobsen, and I'm a teacher at Rælingen videregående skole. So in this clip, I'm going to give you some tips I use in my first English lesson this year. So the first thing my students will see this year is this on the blackboard. So this is sort of a way to get them talking very quickly and discussing amongst each other. So after they've done that for a couple of minutes and we all sit down, we have a class discussion on what this means, usually in a target language, but I allow some Norwegian since this is the first lesson, but they should be able to talk English during this first sequence. So my first lesson, is divided into two parts. First part is getting to know each other. So I usually have a couple of games. The first one to learn names, I usually do the first. We sit in a circle, me and all the students, and then you say your name and a sort of food type that starts with the same letter as your name. So my name would be Kjersti Karamell. And you go around in the circle and the last person has to repeat every name, which is a good one to use to learn names, which can be tricky when you have 30 students. The other one I do is called a toilet paper game. So I say to the students, okay, imagine we're going on a camping trip this weekend. And of course, you need some toilet paper. And I show them 2 rolls of toilet paper and I say, okay, you can choose to take as many squares as you want to. Usually the boys will grab a whole lot and sit with like 12 squares. And usually the girls are more timid, and probably like 4 squares. Once everyone has chosen their squares, I reveal that, okay, for each square you have to reveal something about yourself. So the person that has sort of like up to 20 gets to reveal 20 things about themselves, which is also a good idea to get to know your students better. I do these sort of activities to get to know the students, but also for them to get to know me. And these getting to know you activities, I spend a lot of time on them because I feel it's very important to create sort of a safe environment for the students, which then again leads to them being more comfortable and having more discussions and being more comfortable talking English, which is very important in the English classroom. The second part of my class, my first class, is sort of a soft introduction to the curriculum in English. So what I do is I divide the class up into groups of 4 because there are 4 main topics in the English curriculum in VG1, which is språklæring, muntlig kommunikasjon, skriftlig kommunikasjon, and kultur, samfunn og litteratur. If 4 groups is a little, that's going to be very, a lot of noise and stuff like that. You can divide them up to groups of 5, groups of 6, whatever you want. But the main point is that each group will get 1 section of the curriculum in their group. So one group will get språklæring, one group will get muntlig kommunikasjon, and so on. During that group discussion, they will find sort of the most important words from their topic. So each topic has between 5 and 10 sort of points. For each point, the students have to agree on what is the most important word in that point. After they've found all their words, you collect them on the blackboard and you go through all the words that the students have chosen. So you ask them, why have you chosen these words? Why were they so important to you? And it sort of highlights what the students think are important, and you sort of know with yourself what you know is important for this subject. So you get sort of like a discussion, but it's on subject. It's really on subject, and it's really important for students to get to know the curriculum And usually teachers just present the curriculum and be done with it, but this sort of like breaks it down and makes it easier for them to understand. Okay, so some tips to help you a little bit on the way. Use a lot of cooperative learning in your classrooms. I've done that. I've paired them. I put them into groups of 4. Just get them together and let them talk. It's been very successful in my classroom, and I recommend it really. Just to make sure that whenever you pair or put students together that don't really know each other, make sure that you have sort of like a question for them to ask their partner. For example, who lives closest to the school? Just that simple question lets them get to know each other better. And again, makes them more comfortable, which again leads to more talking English, hopefully. Another tip is a website I use a lot, which is called teacherspayteachers.com. You can find any subject you want and any sort of class techniques, PowerPoints, anything you want. And you can buy them for really cheap. But they've saved my life numerous times among these 2 years I've been teaching. So check it out. And by the way, did you get this? What's black when you buy it, red when you use it, and gray when you throw it away? It is, of course, charcoal. The students like to find the answers to these, and yeah, they think it's much fun. Okay, so these were my tips to you. I implore you to share everything you have with your colleagues, and it really helps sharing. I've only been teaching for a couple of years, and all my colleagues have shared with me. Some of these were tips from my colleagues as well. And use the ones you like, and don't use the ones you don't like. But either way, lots of luck this year, and have fun with your students.